Okay, so again, for those of you who are not aware what is the S&P 500, so they actually represent, the 500 of the largest company in the United States. So what happened is that today this particular topic is all about the S&P 500 reaching an all-new high. Okay, reaching an all-time high. So later I'm going to share with you what it means by all-time high. But again, before I move on, just to share a disclaimer is that whatever I'm sharing today is purely educational. So if you want to follow me, if you want to jump in together with me, please do your own due diligence and you got to take responsible for the trade that you do go in. Okay, again, like I said, when it comes to investment, you have to be careful, especially this is your own money, this is your hard-earned money. So please do your own due diligence. Okay, make sure that whatever I share with you, go and double check. Okay, if you are comfortable, then you go in. If not, later on, I'm going to show you how you can open a demo account. So if you are doing a demo account, then it's just demo money. So it's virtual money, then it's still okay. So as you can see in the news, what happened is that they actually shared that the S&P 500 closes at record high after the Fed signals that it will keep stimulating the economy. So yesterday, Federal Reserve, okay, they actually released, some kind of statement that they're actually going to continue to boost the market. All right, they're going to let inflation goes up, etc., etc. So you can go and read it on CNBC. But end of the day, what it means is that, okay, they are telling you that the market will continue to go higher. They will actually do all kinds of things to make sure that the stock market continue to go even higher. That's the summary. So just to share with all of you what happened back in 2007, this is the subprime crisis. Okay, we can see back in October 2007, that was the peak of S&P 500. So the US market reaches the highest point, okay, at October 2007 and then started to drop. Okay, so it took them about, you can see about 1.5 years from October 2007 until March 2009. That's about 1.5 years from the top to reach the bottom. Okay, that is 1.5 years. And of course, from the bottom of the crisis to reach back the high, the previous high, it actually took them about 4 years, as you can see, from 2009 all the way until 2013. So 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. So 4 years to actually recover back all the losses before it reaches the all-new high. Then after that, it continued to go all the way even higher, right? So you can see in this particular picture, I also indicated, quite a number of the yellow arrow. So can anybody make a random guess or make a good guess? What do you think is the arrow? What is the yellow arrow all about? Anyone? Just write in any answer that you think. What do you think is the yellow arrow? What does it signify? Various incident, government stimulation. Okay, fantastic. So J and WL got it correct. So that is actually your QE1, QE2, as well as your QE3. All right, that is where the government is pumping billions of dollars into the stock market. And that is why, okay, when there's so much liquidity, so much money going into the stock market, naturally, okay, what happens is that the stock market actually goes higher because of all the money that is flowing into the stock market. Okay, so that is back in 2007. That was where they actually started, this habit of printing money. So again, okay, if we look at 2020, okay, in February 2020, we reached the peak of S&P 500. You can see the peak was about $300 over. So just now, as you can see, it was about $100 over. Then it went all the way for the past 10 years. The stock market went crazy, like just go higher and higher and higher and higher until $300 over. Fed, it was the highest. In March, we reached the bottom. So can you see just now back in 2007, it took us 1.5 years from the top to go to the bottom. But right now, it took us only 1 month. Okay, but again, a lot of people are asked, so is this the bottom? Okay, I don't know. But at least from here, based on the last few months, that is the bottom. I'm sure you can see quite straightforward, right? Okay, so 1 month, from 300 over point, it dropped all the way until about 220 point. Okay, and then you can see from March to August, that is about, April, May, June, July, August, about 5 months. Okay, it climbed all the way from the bottom, went back all the way to the same price as Fed. And right now, of course, as you can see, it went even higher. So this is the part that we want to focus on, okay? So I think about 1 or 2 weeks back, I did mention that the market is actually reaching the all-time high. So that is something that we want to be careful. Because why? When it reached this area, we call it the resistance area, two things can happen, okay? Either it shoot up or it could also come downwards. But of course, in the case of what happened right now, we can see that it actually break the high and then it went all the way even higher, right? So that actually signifies, a stronger bull. That means the bull is very strong. The buyer is very strong. A lot of people is still buying. A lot of money is being pumped into the stock market. And that's why you will be able to see that there's actually a new high happening right now. And this is actually a very bullish signal as well. Very bullish signal. All right. So again, we can see, back in May this year, the government actually printed, $700 billion. That was the start of the printing, okay, or some, they call it QE4 lah. Okay, they call it QE4. But of course, throughout these few months, I think so far, the Federal Reserve has printed almost close to about $2 trillion, $2 trillion. So for those of you who are not sure how much is 1 trillion, that is 90 lah. Okay, that's 90. So basically, it has 2 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. That is how much money is being printed in the and being pumped into the market. All right. Of course, because of the COVID-19, a lot of the money actually went to the citizen, the US citizen. But of course, right now, I'm sure you have also heard of this term called the Robin Hood trader. Okay, so who is this Robin Hood trader? Basically, they are people like you and me. Okay, many of them are without experience in the stock market. So what they do is they basically use the money that the government give them, they just throw it into the stock market. Okay, because they believe that the stock market can actually help them to grow their money even faster. So if the government give me $2,000, then what I do is I just take this $2,000, open a Robinhood account, which is a brokerage account, and then my $2,000 start growing maybe to become 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Okay, so a lot of them who actually do this are basically people with zero knowledge about stock market. They simply buy because they feel that this is a way for them to actually make more money lah. So this is what, as you can see over here, US QE4. At the bottom, you can see that there's actually this written over there. There's additional 2 trillion in assets on the book of the Federal Reserve lah. So that is exactly what happened. So I think the question next a lot of people is asking is, right now, are we in a bubble? Okay, are we in a bubble? So probably I just want to check with you guys. What do you think? How many of you feel that we are in a bubble? If you're thinking we are in a bubble, can you put in 000? That signifies a bubble. If you think we are not, put in 111. So 000 for bubble, 111 for no bubble. Okay, let's see. Wow, quite a number of you put bubble, a lot of bubble. A lot of you put 111. Jackson, very big bubble. Can play bubble gum liao. Wow, interesting. Yes. Okay. So I think that comes down to the point whereby we need to understand, okay, what is the definition of a bubble? Okay, what is the definition of a bubble? So over here, I just want to share with you about this particular valuation method called the Shiller PE. Basically, the Shiller PE is in a way telling you how much the company is valued. So the higher it is, the more overvalued it is. Okay, the smaller the number, the more undervalued it is. So I think what we want to take note is, as you can see, back in year 2000, okay, we had this thing called the dot-com bubble. All right, so during the dot-com bubble, basically, if you own an internet company or you say that your company is dealing with the internet, then people will throw money at you. Literally, even if you are not doing anything, your company is losing money. But as long as you tell people that you are a internet company, yeah, the stock price will go like crazy. So that is exactly what happened. And you can see, okay, the bubble reaches a Shiller PE of somewhere around 44. Okay, so that is pretty high. Then after that, we look at the 2007 crisis. Okay, so 2007 crisis, actually, no. That's actually somewhere, this one. Okay, 2007. So you can see at the point of time, right, before the market crash, the PE was about 27, somewhere around there. Okay, so of course, right now we are at 32. So the question right now is, are we in a bubble stage or not? Okay, of course, overall, I would say that yes, the whole economy is not cheap. The whole economy is pretty expensive. It is overvalued. But if you ask me, are we in the bubble stage? I don't think we are in the bubble stage as of now lah. I wouldn't call the current state bubblish lah. Okay, but yes, if you ask me, is it expensive? I would say that yes, it is expensive, but it has not reached the stage of a bubble. Right? Okay, let me just see if there's any question. Yes, so what is this Shiller PE? So PE basically is the PE ratio. So you can go and Google PE ratio. Basically, it's telling you how expensive or how cheap is the market lah. Right? So how do you find it? It's very simple. Just Google Shiller PE, and then you can find the answer lah. So you can find Shiller PE space S&P 500. So it will tell you the Shiller PE based on the S&P 500. Shiller is a person name. Okay, so he actually created this method lah. So that's why people name this method after him, called Shiller PE. Okay, thanks for the definition. Yes, Professor Robert Shiller of Yale University invented the Shiller P ratio to measure the market's valuation. All right, thank you so much for helping me to copy and paste this. Yes, so if you want to find this, very simple, just Google Shiller PE space S&P 500, and then you will be able to find this particular chart lah. All right. So let me show you what is a bubble. Okay, let me show you what is the bubble. So this is a company called Nikola. So Nikola, this company is dealing with hydrogen car, hydrogen van truck lah, hydrogen truck. Okay, and as you can see, this particular company is valued at $14 billion. Okay, $14 billion, which is a lot of money. This company is valued at $14 billion. But the thing about this is that, right, can you imagine this is a company that has not produced a single car. Okay, this company has not produced a single truck. They can't even produce a single hydrogen truck. So basically, this is a company that has nothing lah. Probably a desk with the CEO, the CFO, the secretary, and all that lah. But they are worth 14 billion. So do you think this is a bubble? If you think this is a bubble, can you put in Nikola or put in NKLA if you think this is a bubble? Right. In fact, I just actually extracted this information this afternoon. So this is actually a latest information. So the stock price is $39 and the company is valued at 14 billion. So just to give you an illustration, how much is 14 billion? I give you a Singapore company. Our CapitaLand, okay, the one that you see everywhere, that owns property, that owns shopping mall, that owns a lot of asset, they are also worth 14 billion. But of course, one of them is Nikola is in US dollar. CapitaLand is in Singapore dollars, but pretty much quite similar. Okay, but you can see CapitaLand, you can see all the asset, you can see the shopping center, you can see a lot of things, and they have been in Singapore for how many years? They have actually built up from something that is small. It takes them maybe 20, 30 years to build up to where they are today. And Nikola, okay, they are a company that is probably less than a year. They are actually listed on the stock exchange for I think less than about 3 months. Okay, and they are valued at 14 billion without producing a single car. So again, when you talk about this thing called bubble, hydrogen bubble, yes, it really depends on the perspective. Yes, there are certain companies that are bubblish, that are bubble, but there are also companies that, if you ask me, CapitaLand based on the current value. Okay, today I'm going to share with you one valuation method, which is called price to book lah. So just to share with you first, as you can see over here, can y'all see this price to book? So basically, price to book, right? You can see 0.56. What it means is, for instance, if today I have a $10 note, okay, and I want to sell you this $10 Singapore dollar note, how much are you willing to actually buy over from me? Can you just put into the chat group? I have a $10 note, a real Singapore $10 note. How much are you willing to actually pay to trade for my $10 note? Okay, WL say $5, $5.60, $10, $8. Okay, but basically, yes, very simple. I think Ying is the correct answer. As long as it is less than $10, I think it makes sense for you to actually trade, okay, your money with my $10 note. So if you have a $9 note and then you get to buy over my $10 note, technically you are buying at a cheaper price. You are buying at a good deal, all right? So price to book one is basically $10. So if you're buying at a price to book of 0.9, it means that you are using $9 to pay for my $10 note. So you're getting a 10% discount. So 0.56 basically means that you are paying 0.56 for something that is worth $1. Can you see? So for CapitaLand, in terms of valuation, can you see that it is actually very undervalued? Okay, it is actually very undervalued, which means that today, if I actually sell off all the property that CapitaLand owns, technically, right, you will be able to get a very, very good deal out of it, lah. All right, even if they go bankrupt, you sell away all the property, you can get back more than what you actually put in. So that's the whole idea. So in terms of bubble, you can see CapitaLand is definitely not a bubble. In fact, it is undervalued right now. But if you look at Nikola, it has nothing, but it is worth 14 billion and the price to book is at 15 times. So for something that is worth $1, people are paying $15. But in fact, I think people are paying way more than that because they literally have nothing. Okay. So I think that is where we need to understand when it comes to bubblish, right? It really depends on what you are looking at. Okay, what you are looking at. So today, I'm just going to introduce you to this very simple method, especially for those of you who have been to my crisis income formula webinar. You know I love to look at fishes. Okay, I love to look at fishes. All right. So what happened is that in the stock market, there are a lot of fishes, big fish, small fish, ikan bilis, you have your salmon, you have, you know, all kind of fish. So what I want to focus on is the big fish. What is the big fish doing? Okay. And of course, we all know that this is the biggest fish out there in the stock market. Can you put down his name? What is his name? What is his name? If you recognize him, WB. Okay, yes, thank you so much, Brandon. Warren Buffett, Oracle of Omaha. Yes, he is Warren Buffett. Basically, if you heard of his name, he is actually the richest investor in the world right now. Okay, the richest investor in the whole wide world. So what happened is that when it comes to investing, you want to actually follow the biggest fish out there. Okay, and that is none other than Warren Buffett. So the thing over here is, all right, so recently, okay, Berkshire Hathaway, which is the company that Warren Buffett owns, okay, they actually give their quarterly update for Q2 2020. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you some of the important information that I actually fished out from his sharing in Q2, which just happened not too long ago. And of course, from there, I'm going to share with you a stock recommendation, which I feel that it is actually undervalued right now. So the first thing first, okay, the company is actually doing even better right now. So profit actually went up. Secondly, the airlines are gone. So Warren Buffett, previously, he actually invested in airlines, okay, all the four largest US airline, Delta Airline, American Airline, Southwest Airline, and which one? Delta Airline. Yeah, four airlines basically. Right, so he actually removed all of them. So all of them are gone. So the next thing is he has a concentrated portfolio as of today. Okay, concentrated portfolio. Later, I'm going to share with you what exactly it means. So you can see this is the top 5 holdings of his company. Number 1 is Apple. Number 2 is Bank of America. Number 3 is Coca-Cola. Number 4 is American Express. And number 5 is Kraft Heinz. All right, I'm sure you all find all this company familiar. Probably you are also using it as well. All right, so this is what Warren Buffett loves to do. He loves to invest in companies that are easy to understand, okay, and something that he himself is using, right? So one of the interesting thing about Warren Buffett is he actually like to do this thing called share buyback. Okay, so what does it mean? Basically, it means if nobody is buying me, I will buy myself. So sometimes when the share price of his company drop to a certain point, okay, he will feel that, hey, my company is so cheap. So if nobody want to buy my company, then what he will do is he will actually buy back his own company share. Okay, so he can actually buy back his own company share using the money that he has in the company. So as you can see, Warren Buffett has always been buying back his own company, which is Berkshire B share. Okay, and this quarter, he also did the same thing. He actually bought back some of his share and he entered at an average price of $176. Okay, which is actually 108% of the book value. Okay, book value basically is like the net worth of his company. Okay, and how do you calculate? You take the asset minus away the liability. So also just to add on, okay, based on research, okay, over the last few quarters, Warren Buffett has actually repurchased share up to 140% of book value. So remember just now we talked about the price to book. Okay, so he actually repurchased up to the number 1.4 lah. So 140% basically means 1.4. So if let's say he has a $10 note, he's willing to buy back, okay, up to $14, because he feel that in the future the value of this paper is going to be worth more lah. Okay, the value of this paper is going to be worth more. So he's willing to purchase up to 140% of the book value based on this price to book ratio. So some of the new companies that he recently took a bite on. Okay, I put here over the new food that he's eating on. Is actually Go. Okay, so his company actually bought a little bit of this company called Barrick Go. And he also bought into supermarket as well. All right, and not only that, he bought into REIT as well as an integrated energy company. All right, so these are the few companies that he is actually taking a small bite lah. So that also gives us, some idea of what are some of the industry that we could be looking out for, okay, based on what, the world richest investor is doing, the biggest fish out there is doing. So at the same time, he actually discarded some of the food. Okay, so what are they? Basically, you have your airlines, you have your restaurant, you have the oil and gas, and of course, you have the investment bank. So these are the 4 areas that he actually discarded. So of course, for us, right, we also want to, take reference from that lah. So if let's say you're still investing in airlines, do take note lah. Of course, for him, he invested in US. But I think most of you probably are invested in Singapore. Singapore only got one airline, okay, which is Singapore Airline. All right, so this is something to take note, because for him, he also feel that this industry is going to be very challenging, especially moving forward. It's not going to be that easy lah. All right, that's why he actually discarded it. And of course, for restaurant, all right, we all know because of COVID, a lot of people is actually staying at home. All right, and of course, the whole habit and how we actually spend our money actually changes. There are actually a lot of people who actually don't cook, but during the COVID-19, I'm sure you all realize that a lot of people become celebrity chef. Okay, they start to learn how to cook. They even take Instagram of what they cook, put all the nice photo of their cooking, so that actually continue. So after COVID-19, they continue to keep on the habit lah. Maybe once a week, they will still cook one or twice, right? And of course, we all know that oil and gas is a declining industry, again, because nowadays people are going for clean energy, for example, like hydrogen, okay, and that is because of that. Nikola actually went all the way up because of the hype lah. So people are moving towards clean energy and all that, so oil is actually something that is very traditional. So of course, investment bank, okay, which is also pretty much linked to the normal banks that we have lah. So that also comes to the point whereby I also want to touch a little bit on the 3 banks that we have in Singapore, which is SIA, DBS, and OCBC. Recently, we all also know that they actually, cut down their dividend because of the MAS ruling. Okay. And of course, moving forward, right, I also feel that the banking industry is not going to make as much money as before, because very important for us to take note, bank make more money when the interest rate is high. Okay, so when the overall interest rate is high, bank actually are able to make more money. So right now, we all also know that the interest rate out there is at an all-time low, almost close to 0. Okay, so which means that the bank itself is making less money. I wouldn't say they lose money, but they are making less money, okay, because of the interest rate. And not only that, you have a lot of business when they are not doing well, they defaulted on their loans and all that. Okay, so that will also fall back to the banks. So end of the day, I feel that I don't think Singapore Bank will go bankrupt. Definitely they will not go bankrupt. But will they be able to continue to make good profit? Okay, so that they can continue to give good dividend. I think that is something that we need to take a look on. Okay, take a further analyze more on that. Okay, so this is just a summary, okay, on the Warren Buffett portfolio. As you can see on the left-hand side, starting with the largest portfolio, which is Apple. So just now I mentioned that he has a very concentrated portfolio. Can you see? 44% of all the company that he invested is actually in Apple. One company takes up 44% of his whole portfolio. So how much is that? you can go and calculate lah. Okay, the market value based on what he owns is about $89 billion. Okay, $89 billion. Am I correct or not? Let me just take a double look. Yeah, that should be correct. Sorry, I want to do. Yep. Okay, so that is a lot. That is a lot of money lah, basically. Okay. So we all know that Apple recently, the share price also went up quite significantly lah. So you can see previously the value was actually 62. Then because of the share price increase, so now it is actually valued at 89. So he actually made quite a lot of money from this company that he invested, which is Apple. So again, I do respect him for that lah. Okay, for putting so much money in one company and that company is doing extremely well. So that shows that he still has the skill. He still has the title of being the best investor. So of course, you can see there's also other companies like Bank of America, Coca-Cola, Amex, and Kraft Heinz. So those that is in purple color are basically company that he actually reduced position. Okay, he actually reduced. For example, Wells Fargo used to be 5% in his portfolio, but right now it has reduced to 3%. So he's still holding it, except that he actually reduced some position. Okay, US Bancorp is also another bank. All right, then of course, you can see some of the one in blue color is those that he actually increased slightly. Okay, so like Kroger, he increased. Liberty, Sirius, he also increased. Store Capital, on the right-hand side, he increased. And of course, Barrick Gold. Barrick Gold is a new position. That's why it is in green in color. All right, so those are the one that he actually increased in, he actually bought some of the share. And of course, over here, these are the one that you want to take note. So these are the one that he actually reduced. So you can see previously he was holding on the right-hand side, but now it's all zero. So American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Goldman Sachs, Occidental Petroleum, Restaurant Brand, Southwest Airline, and United Continental Holding, which is another airline. So 4 airlines in total. So again, this is just a reference for you. So right now, we all know that the market is actually open. So we are going into the live trade. Okay, so can anybody make a good guess? What is the company that we are actually, going in tonight? Anybody want to make a guess? You can put it into the group chat. Okay, BAC, Apple, Facebook. How come Facebook? I don't see any Facebook. Okay, Berkshire Hathaway, Tesla. Interesting. Anything more? We have about 95 of you. So let's get more response. Okay, let's have more response. What do you think is the company that we are going in tonight? Barrick Gold. Oh wow, interesting. Yes, this is a company that he just went in. So maybe it's a good time for us to also jump in. All right, that was a good guess. Anybody else? Microsoft. Why Microsoft? Yeah. Okay, Berkshire Hathaway. Okay, I think most of you actually put in this company called Berkshire Hathaway. So basically, what is Berkshire Hathaway? Berkshire Hathaway is the company that Warren Buffett owns lah. So basically, when you invest in Berkshire Hathaway, literally you are holding quite a big chunk in Apple. You are holding a huge chunk of your money in Bank of America. You are invested in Kraft Heinz. You are invested in Amex, right? So this is like a basket of fund. But of course, the basket, there's a lot of Apple in it lah. Okay, 44% is made out of Apple. So yes, you guys are right. So the company that we are going in today is none other than Berkshire Hathaway. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Okay, there are so many companies that he just bought and he sold off. But, when you invest in the Berkshire Hathaway, what you are doing is basically you are just letting Warren Buffett do the job for you lah. Okay, basically he will continue to pick good company that will do well. He will continue to look at the overall market, whether is it time to buy more company, is it good to buy more gold, is it going to do, so let him do the job. So all you need to do is to own his share and basically, yep, he is working hard for you. So another reason why I actually jump in is because right now, as you can see, the price to book is 1.32. So if you remember what I shared just now, for Warren Buffett, he is willing to buy back his share, okay, all the way up to 140%, which is 1.4. So which means that even at this current price to book of 1.32, this is a price that Warren Buffett, he himself is willing to buy back his own share. That means he still feel that at $216, it is still relatively, undervalued, right? So he's willing to actually buy. buy them back. Okay, so this is basically my valuation method that I use lah. Okay, based on Warren Buffett. So of course, another reason which okay, I didn't actually share here is also because, you know, for this company Berkshire Hathaway, there is actually a cross based on technical. Okay, so when a cross happens, it actually signifies a buying signal lah. Okay, so fundamentally, I think this is undervalued. Okay, secondly, I would say that based on technical, this is also a good time for us to actually jump into this company as well. So we actually combine both fundamental as well as technical, okay, to actually make this particular trade lah. And of course, we all know that right now, okay, Berkshire Hathaway is still holding a huge chunk of cash. So if let's say the market were to have a massive drop, okay, moving forward, you know, Warren Buffett is going to use all his money to actually buy up a lot of good and solid company at a very, very cheap price. So he is actually still holding a lot of cash, but although he's holding a lot of cash, but even his existing portfolio is doing extremely well because of Apple, right? So that is why I find that, you know, this company is actually doing extremely well. He's still definitely one of the best investors out there. So for those of you who do not have a US account, because this is a US company, so what I would recommend all of you to do is, if you want, you can actually join us tonight, okay, by opening up a virtual trading account. So the virtual trading account is entirely free. So how do you, if you want to jump in the trade with us, what you're going to do is you can go to this website, tdameritrade.com.sg. Then you can see the red arrow over there, virtual trading. Just click on it. Okay, just click on it. And then you can actually click on this thing called Try Papermoney. Okay, so it doesn't cost you anything to open the account and you don't have to put in money. Okay, you can actually use the demo account to actually start investing and practice. All right. And of course, for those of you who already have a TD Ameritrade account, then of course you can actually just jump in together with me. In fact, I have already jumped in yesterday. Okay, but I think today is still a good time for us to actually go in. So what we're going to do is right now, I am going to go to my TD Ameritrade. Okay, I'm going to go to my TD Ameritrade and then we are going to go and do the trade together. Let me just open up my... Okay, yes. So right now you should be looking at my TD Ameritrade. Okay. So what happened is that right now the time is about 9:40. Okay, let's take a 5 minutes break. Let's take a 5 minutes break. Okay, again, this is for those of you who have not yet opened the account. Okay, I will just give you about 5 minutes lah. Okay, just to run through this two if you want, so that you can actually practice with the demo account. So you can go to this website, tdameritrade.com.sg. Okay, go to click on the virtual trading, and after that, click on Try Papermoney. So I'll give you about 5 minutes for you to actually do that. Okay, and then later on, when I go to the platform itself, we can actually execute together. So what we are going to do today is we are going to buy share. Okay, we are going to own the share directly. So the share right now is trading at about, let me take a look, $216. So in order for you to actually own this, or in order for you to do this trade, all you need is $216 US. So you don't need a lot of money for you to do that. All you need is $216 US. All right, so come back at about 9:43. Okay, let's just take a few more minutes for those of you who need to open up the account. Okay, go and do it. Okay, and then at 9:43, we will actually go in and I'm going to show you how do you actually go and buy the share on this particular platform. Okay, so in the meantime, let's just let's chit chat. Okay, let's just give the rest some time to set up. For those of you who already have the account, don't worry, you can just follow me later on. If you know how to do it, okay, go ahead and execute it on your own. Okay, it's going to cost you $200 over for one share. So if you want to own more, you can go for 2 share, 3 share, 4 share, 5 share, 10 share. Okay, it's entirely up to you.
Bowen, I have a question. This is Sharon.
Yes, Sharon, yes.
When yesterday I tried to place a trade, a put. I bought a put for Abbott, and then I think I went in and do a stop loss. But then after that, when I want to, for example, if I want to go back in and change the parameter, how come it doesn't allow me to go in and change my parameter? For example, if I say I stop loss at $11, now I want to change to $10, for example, but it didn't seem to allow me to go back into that same line and change my parameter anymore. Is that
okay? Probably because you click on the wrong thing lah. But yeah, don't worry. Later after the live trade, I help you to adjust it.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay, yep. Don't worry about it. So today we just keep to the simple one. We just buy share.
But just another question. The Ultimate Investing Club, the one that coming out on Monday. So for the Monday session, it will still be a webinar session, is it? The face-to-face session will not be available so soon.
Yes, it will be Zoom lah.
Oh, okay. Because
Yep.
I really think I need face-to-face more than the Zoom.
Yep. It will actually be in Zoom, but yeah, we will do it a lot slower lah.
Okay.
Okay, wow. So there's a question. When will SPY drop? Use your mirror ball. Okay, I would say that for now, definitely the market is bullish lah. So, but from now until the election, which is in November, okay, I would say that the market will continue to go higher. So the next point for us to actually take note is before the US election. Okay, before the US election. So if you are Donald Trump, if you want to get re-elected, basically what you will do is you will try always to make the market go even higher lah. All right, so that's why the Fed is doing a lot of, is throwing in a lot of money to make the stock market goes higher and things like that. You know, so from now until I would say late October, you're pretty safe. So somewhere in October, if you are happy with your profit, maybe you can just take your profit and relax for 1 month and then see who won the election and then decide again. If you are buying option, okay, so some of you might be a little bit more advanced. Some of you are already the students. So if you are using option, go for the one that is 203 days. So for those of you who don't understand option, right? Okay, the reason why we are not doing option today is because you need to understand more about option. You need to know when to sell, how to sell, and there's a lot of things lah. So option can make you more money, but if you do not know how to execute it well, you can also lose more money. All right, so today what we're going to do is just the straightforward one. Just buy and then just buy the share. Just buy the share. What about Tesla share? What about Tesla share? Yeah, what do you want to ask about Tesla share? Can buy or cannot buy? Is it? Yeah, don't worry. If you're already invested, right, then yeah, it's totally fine, okay? Is it too high? Again, like I said, this kind of thing, right, is it too high? In terms of valuation, Tesla is definitely overvalued. So if you are buying into Tesla, you are buying into the future of Tesla. That means what they are doing, you need to understand what they are doing. So some of the interesting project is basically, do you know that Tesla is actually doing autonomous vehicle? Okay, which means that a few years down the road, basically you will be able to see Tesla vehicle driving around like a taxi without a driver. Okay, so that is something that is something that Tesla is actually doing. So in fact, Tesla is also one of the largest car manufacturer right now lah. So they have already overtaken, you know, companies like Ford lah, you know, other car companies. So that is something that they're actually doing extremely well. And of course, we know that right now, electric car is the way to go. Electric car is definitely the way to go. Even the Singapore government is trying to move into electric car lah, but somehow they didn't let Tesla come in.
Okay.
Yes, question. Last question before I move on.
You are recommending 203 days if I have to buy calls, is it?
Sorry, again? Can you repeat your question again?
For Berkshire, are you recommending that we buy calls at 203 days expiry, or are you recommending we sell puts?
No, I'm recommending to buy stock.
Okay.
Yeah, long-term stock. That means you buy, you can hold it for, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years down the road. Pass it to your grandchildren if possible.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But of course, if you want to make quick gain, higher profit, you can do a buy call. Yeah, you can do a buy call. So for those of you who know how to do a buy call, you can actually go ahead and do a buy call. I wouldn't recommend a sell put for those of you who have followed me on my last trade on Wells Fargo, I did a sell put. So why I will not do a sell put on this is because in order for you to do a sell put on Berkshire Hathaway, which is $216, you will need $21,000 in your account. So it actually requires a huge capital. So please do not do a sell put on Berkshire Hathaway. Please just do a simple buy stock. So, okay, right now I'm going to do the buy stock. I'm going to share my screen. So how are you going to buy stock? So if you actually come to the Think or Swim account, so very simple. Let's just look at, we're going to just use this to monitor as well as trade. So step number 1, click on trade. Okay, so by default, right, this is going to be empty. Yeah? So when you click on the trade, you can see that this is going to be empty. So what you're going to do is you are going to key in BRK/B. Enter. Okay, BRK/B. And then you will be able to see Berkshire Hathaway Incorporation Class B, CLB, with the price $217 at the site. So if you want to buy the share, all you need to do is just focus on the first column, which is the underlying. As you can see over here, when I zoom in, there will be this thing called buy. Okay. So all you need to do, very simple, just go to this buy, click on it, then there will be a pop-up. So this pop-up again, make sure that this is a stock that you are buying. Okay. And if it's green in color, means you're correct. If you click the wrong one, for example, if you click the wrong one, it will be red in color. So this is sell. So we are not doing a selling, we are doing a buying. So make sure that this is green in color and make sure that this is 1. So some of you, if let's say you just open the account, this could be in 10 or 100. All you need to do is just change it to 1. Okay, change it to 1 and then you're good to go. The next thing is over here, this is the price and everything. You can leave it as it is. Don't have to do any changes. If you want, you can bargain cheaper. But in our case tonight, we are not going to bargain. Let's just keep it simple. Click confirm and send. Okay, so over here, let me just go through with you. So basically what happened is that you are going to spend $217 to own 1 share of Berkshire Hathaway. And right now, okay, the good thing about TD Ameritrade right now is that, okay, the commission to buy share is 0. So how much you're going to spend is literally just the share price, and they don't actually earn a single cent from it. As compared to Singapore, for those of you who are invested in Singapore, you know that easily you have to pay, like, for example, $20, $30 or even more, okay, for a trade like this. But in the case of the US market, they actually reduces the commission so much so that it's actually 0 for stock. So you are not going to pay anything for commission. It's going to be just the price. So if you have $217.30, you can actually do this trade. So just click send. In fact, you can see they actually helped me to get it at a lower rate. Okay, at a slightly lower rate at 216. So you can see I managed to buy it at 216.87 because it went down, right? Okay, so that's basically done. So in order for you to do it, very simple. Let me just repeat one more time. Go to the trade. Okay, and then key in BRK/B. This will appear. All you need to do is just go to the ask, and then below the ask, there's this price. Click on it. Make sure that you are buying a stock. Make sure that this is 1 share or whatever, how many share you want it to be. If you have $1,000 to allocate for this, you can go for about 5 share or 4 share. Then you just increase to 4 or 5. So let's say I increase to 5. Okay, then you can just click confirm and send. You can see the cost is going to be multiplied by 5. So again, there's no commission. If you want, you can just click send. Then you wait. So in the case, you can see just now I have, the first time that I went in, it went in immediately. But the second time, it didn't went in immediately. So you got to wait for a while. So if let's say you see that yours is in the working orders, it means that it is not executed yet. If yours is in a few orders, it means that it has already been executed. That means confirmed already. All right, so I hope this is clear for all of you. So again, all you need to do when you come to this platform, just focus on these two, monitor and trade. This is the 2 things that you will need. The rest, if you have time, you can go and explore. But if you are totally new to the platform, just stick to these 2, monitor and trade, monitor and trade. Okay, so if you are still lost, don't worry. I will actually upload this in the YouTube. So once it's up, you can actually watch it again and again. You can practice. Again, end of the day, I think for here, it's also to expose all of you. Yep, you can hear the sound, right? When you hear the sound, it means that it is actually been executed. Let me just show you. Yeah, so you will be able to hear some signal lah. So once you hear the sound, it means that it has gone through. So you can see right now I have 6 share, okay, at different pricing lah, slightly different pricing. So right now you can see at the bottom you have +6. All right. Yeah, so here you go. This is exactly what you need to do in order for you to buy shares. So again, this is to expose you. For those of you who are mainly dealing with the Singapore market, open a demo account. It's entirely free. You can practice with a demo account. They will give you 200,000 to play around with it. Okay, and then practice to buy Berkshire Hathaway and then monitor it.
Oh, one. So you actually bought 5 and 1. Then they will average out the cost and tell you how much is a 6, is it? Or they will have it in 2 separate line item?
They will actually keep it separated.
Oh, okay. So they will average it out for you lah.
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Let me just take on some questions. Let me just take on some question. Is this a pre-funded account? Yes, on the demo account, right? They will give you 200,000 virtual money lah. So that one you can just use that and practice. Yeah. So no need to change to GTC. No, don't need, because usually it will go through immediately. So you can actually execute it immediately. How is payment made in a real life situation? Okay, so if let's say you are opening a real account, okay, and if you want to start investing in the US, so what you need to do is you need to transfer money to the US bank, okay, and then you can only invest with what you have transferred. So for example, you transfer 5,000 US dollar over, then you can only invest with 5,000. So that's how it works for a US brokerage account. You need to transfer money over first. Then you can only use whatever you have transferred. So in Singapore, sometimes they actually link it to your bank account. So you can actually buy first and then they will give you a few days to actually make payment. So US is totally different. You need to make the payment first. You need to fund the account, put in some money, and then use that money that you have to invest. Can we set a trailing stop loss? Yes, of course, you can set the trailing stop loss. How do we pay the share? It will actually, demo account, you have virtual money lah. But real account, yes, like what I mentioned, you have to fund the account first. Then they will deduct from the account. All right. Is the funding transfer immediate? Nope, it is not immediate. It will take about 2 working days. Berkshire B is more of a long-term hold. Yes, this one you can actually hold it for quite some time now. So don't worry about it. Even if there's a crisis, the next drop, yeah, rest assured that Warren Buffett will work hard for you. So you can actually hold this for long term. All right, anyone have any more questions? If not, we just take about 5 more minutes for questions all the way until 10 p.m. All right. Can demo how to sell the stock? Okay, very, very good point from Sharon. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to sell it away. Okay, yeah. So, okay, so you can see for my position over here, just that I just went in. So right now I am losing $3.60. Okay, so what happened is that when I click in, okay, actually you can see that they actually split this into 2 different entry. So just now I mentioned it is actually separated, but actually they also combine it for you. So they actually show you both. So what happened is, let's say now I'm going to sell off one of the share. I have 6 shares, right? I want to sell off one of the share. How do you do it? Very simple. Go to the share itself. All right, go to the share itself, right click, create closing order, and sell. Okay, I repeat. Go to the share that you have, right click, create closing order, and then sell. So you can see by default, they will assume that you're going to sell off everything. So what you're going to do is, let's say I just want to sell off one, then I will just change this to 1. Or you can just use the plus minus lah. Change it to -1. So selling is always minus. So I'm going to sell off 1 at this price. Then I will just confirm and send. See, you can see the thing popping out means that it is being sold. So right now what happened is that when you go back to my monitor, can you see that I'm only left with 5? So over here, it will also show you your transaction. So I bought it at 216 and I sold it at 216.44. So I lost about 40 cents. Yeah, within a few minutes. Yeah, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So this is a demo account just for demo purposes. So this is what you did. So let me just demo one more time, okay? Go to the share that you want to sell off, right click, create closing order, sell. So if you want to sell off everything, then you don't have to change anything. You can just click confirm and send. Then that's it. So confirm and send, then they will ask you for a confirmation. You just send, then that's it. So I hope this is clear.